Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I'm going to share with you an excerpt from the book The Exploits of the Incomparable Mulla Nasrudin. I will read to you the story first, and then I'll just give some of my views about what I think this story is trying to teach us, and hopefully we will all benefit from it. So this is called The Secret. A would-be disciple haunted Nasrudin, asking him question after question. The mullah answered everything and realized that the man was not completely satisfied, although he was in fact making progress. Eventually, the man said, "Master, I need more explicit guidance. What is the matter? I have to keep on doing things, and although I progress, I want to move faster. Please tell me a secret, as I have heard you do with others." "I will tell you when you are ready for it." The man later returned to the same theme. "Very well. You know that your need is to emulate me." "Yes." "Can you keep a secret?" "I would never impart it to anyone." "Then observe that I can keep a secret as well as you can." So this is a very interesting story about basically about the adab of learning. And too often we have sort of transferred the way we learn in our secular schooling system to other areas of learning, especially with regards to our spiritual quest. All right, trying to be a better Muslim, for example. We want to learn from a teacher, but we still expect from the teacher, all right, the things that we expect in a school, in a secular school, where usually the attitude is that it is just to give the students whatever they want, all right, whatever, and so on. And in the curriculum is already fixed. Right? And because of that, then you just deliver it. As a teacher, you just deliver it, and the student can demand from you that it be delivered. But when we're talking about a spiritual quest, this is just not the same. There's no fixed curriculum, right? Your development as a student will depend very much on how the teacher perceives the state of your learning, how much you have progressed, and so on. So this story starts with a disciple, right? And notice the phrase used there is would-be disciple, because just because you have enrolled, all right, or sat with a teacher, it doesn't mean that you're a disciple. That's the first thing that we must remember. And then this as like most people who are used to being in a secular school, you haunt your teachers. You ask all kinds of things incessantly, all right, because you feel that you're in a hurry, all right, to learn. So you ask, this person kept asking Nasrudin all kinds of questions, and there is very little pause in terms of what is being answered and whether it is being reflected upon, whether it's contemplated upon, all right, whether it really sinks in, all right, that's another matter, all right. It's just, I want the answers, and I expect those answers, and I expect those answers to be given. And I think if it's been given to me, then I move on to the next question. So the mullah answered everything, okay, being a good teacher that he is. But bear in mind, when a teacher like this, or a spiritual teacher, teaches you like this and answers your question, don't mistake that willingness to answer as him sort of, just letting you have whatever you want. But actually, this is him actually assessing you as a student. And true enough, the mullah, he actually realized that this student of his, so-called student anyway, all right, was someone who is not easily satisfied. Although the mullah himself felt that he was making progress. It's just that the perception of progress between the two of them, the student and the teacher, is very different. So the student is in a hurry, all right? And this reminds me of what the Quran says about not being in haste. All right, but for us, many of us actually, we are always in haste. We want to hurry. We want to finish the curriculum. We want to get our degree as fast as possible. If we can, we want to skip a few years of school and so on. We want to be up there with the rest as fast as possible. Okay, and that is because we have this mindset that there is a fixed set of what is to be taught and what is to be learned, and the faster you cover it, the better. And it is not a surprise that the term is used for such things. It's called a curriculum, which comes from the Latin word, which means a race course. You know, the kind of race course where you watch in Benhur, where the chariots go round and round and round and finish a race. That's what it is. It comes from that word. So it is not surprising that today many people, many students, right, think that every learning, all right, is like a race course to be completed as fast as possible. So, but the teacher felt that, yes, he is already making progress, all right? And the teacher knows what is better for the student. It's not about haste. It's about you making slow, steady progress because you are not in a hurry at all. After all, we don't even know when we're going to die, all right? And you'll be only responsible for the things that you can do something about it, all right? What you don't know, you won't be made responsible by God. So anyway, eventually the man said, Master, I need more explicit guidance. See, now the student is teaching the master how to teach him, must make the guidance more explicit. All right, can you imagine this? All right, so make it more explicit. Now, if he can tell the master, right, that the master has to make the guidance explicit, who is the real master here? All right, the student or the teacher? Which one? So he needs more explicit guidance. All right. He doesn't even realize perhaps that what has already been taught is what is suitable for him at his real level. So the master asks, what's the matter? And then he says, I have to keep on doing things. See again? All right. The idea that, there must be action, that you must always be doing things. All right. There's no pause. There's no place for contemplation. There's no place for reflection. No place for you to sort of internalize what you have really learned. Or to put it another way, there's no place for you to let the meaning of what you have learned, right, to arrive at your soul, which is the definition of ilm. And also there's no time for the soul to try to reach out to the meaning. All right. So this is what happens, all right, when you feel that you have to keep on doing things, just to show you're very actively engaged and so on. Do not mistake being engaged, all right, or being active, or being in a hurry, or being in haste, all right, about your learning, trying to finish it. Do not mistake that when you show that kind of enthusiasm, all right, then you think that you are actually a very good student. Okay, what is perhaps needed is a lot of pause and contemplation. And he says, and although I progress, I want to move faster. So he's telling the teacher, okay, the teacher is teaching too slow. You're too slow for me. All right, come on. All right, giddy up, faster, faster. Okay. So then at the end, he says, please tell me a secret, as I have heard you do with others. This is another thing that is common among some students of teachers on the spiritual path. Okay, they see, all right, somebody else being given something extra by the teacher, all right, then they want it for themselves. This is a reflection of the envy that exists in the student. So if you're very envious, all right, you crave for the things that's been given to others, then you have missed the point, because you are not the other person, you are not the other student. And the other student may have displayed some qualities which the teacher would approve and think, all right, that yes, that person has reached a certain level where he can make further progress and he can teach that student extra things, the secrets. Okay. But don't assume just because it's been given to others, then you also must have it. This is the sickness of the heart. Okay, it's called envy, all right, or just simply greed, right? So this attitude, if we have this attitude of envy, then what happens is that we forget to think and reflect that whether we are at the same level as the other students. It is left to the teacher to decide who gets more than the other. It's also left to the teacher to decide, all right, what piece of knowledge is to be given to a particular student. Knowledge in Islam is not a democratization of knowledge. It is highly selective. It is to be given to those who are deserving, not any Ali, Ahmad, or Osman. No. Okay, it's not like that at all. So this student is now badgering the teacher, all right, for secrets, because he's seen others getting it. So, look, I work very hard. I study very well. In fact, you are too slow for me, so why don't you give me the extra things that you've given to the others? So the teacher said, I will tell you when you are ready for it. So you see the phrase that when you are ready for it. Okay, so of course, what is meant by you are ready for it, what is meant by the teacher and what is meant by the student is, of course, two very different things. So the man later returned to the same theme. And the teacher said, very well, okay, because obviously this person is such an impatient person and also such an undeserving person because he's trying to tell the teacher what to do, how to teach him. Okay, very often we all think we know that what we need, but actually it's not what we need, right? And some of the things that we think we need also are things that we shouldn't be given. All right. So the teacher actually then said, very well, you know that your need is to emulate me. You want to copy me, right? You want to be like me. You want to follow whatever I do. And of course, the student said, yes. And actually, when the teacher said that, also the teacher is basically saying to the student, you think you're like me, the teacher? Okay. All right. And of course, he doesn't think that way. So he answered, yes. So the teacher asked him, can you keep a secret? And of course, like all eager beavers, they would agree with whatever the teacher says, right? Whether they will do it or not, that's another thing. But this is how a good teacher actually teaches his student. So the Mulla or Nasrudin actually then said, all right, can you keep a secret? And the student said, I would never impart it to anyone. Then observe that I can keep a secret as well as you can. So that's the teacher's way of telling him to shut up. All right. You are not going to go any further with me. Those secrets will remain with me. All right. You don't tell me what to do. So you want to know a secret? Okay, this is my secret. My secret is I can keep a secret. Okay. So those are some of the things that you can learn from this very short excerpt from the book, The Exploits of the Incomparable Mulla Nasrudin. It's a fun book to read. All right. It's very funny. All right. The Tales of Mulla Nasrudin, I think, is very well known in the Muslim world. Okay, he's also sometimes known as Hoja. So you can read it as a fun thing, but I think if you upon deeper reflection, there are a lot of things that we can learn from this book, from the stories in there, and inshallah we can actually benefit from it all. So with that, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.